Welcome back to Football Manager 2024 with Rushall Olympic, Diamond in the Rough. It's the very first day of the season and we find ourselves in League 2. I never thought I'd be able to say that we managed to make it to League 2, but here we are with Rushall Olympic ready to take it by storm. We are facing off against Bristol Rovers. They, I believe, used to be in the division above us, so we'll take a look at their history there. Yeah, they finished 23rd place. They got 9 wins, 11 draws, and 26, which is bad enough to get relegated. So we'll take a look at how bad they actually did get relegated by. And they were in second last place. So 38 points, couldn't quite cover it in 46 games. I guess the cutoff is around 46 points. Should be good enough to be clear for that. So we'll just end up having to take our notes from that. The good thing about League 2 is that there's only 2 teams that end up getting the drop. So as long as we end up finishing pretty decent, we shouldn't get the drop, and we do find ourselves in the same division as Walsall. So I never thought I'd say that as well. Currently, the team that we're the suburbs of, so they aren't too far. When we end up facing them, I will give you a little bit of more of a map. We'll probably face them next, actually. But first, we'll end up playing Bristol Rovers. We'll take a look at the league expectation and what they think we're going to end up doing. They think we're going to finish dead last. I mean, that's not too far-fetched. We're 350 to 1 to win the league. Wrexham is number 1, and Bristol Rovers, the team that we're about to face, is projected to finish 4th. So this is probably going to be a very difficult opposition. Our payroll budget, so I figured out why we end up getting screwed. We end up getting screwed because all our youth end up making a decent amount of money. So they were making 100. So most of them were. So we're selling all those players away as much as possible, just to slowly inch away at it. And we also have under 21 that we basically gutted because they're all making around 100 as well. And then even just in terms of our squad, we did bring a decent amount of them here as well, of the guys that we're going to sell. Around 50 per week adds up pretty quickly, and even these hundreds that aren't going to end up playing for us anyways. Vickers, we're going to try and sell out. Ollie Grant as well. I know they do have a chance at making the roster at some point, but they don't look like they're League 2, at least not ready for the next little while, which does kind of suck. So we're pretty much giving them away for free. Just taking a look at all the transfers that we end up doing. Yeah, we end up sending out all these players out so far. We haven't been able to really bring anyone in. So that is the biggest mistake. I think it was also our GM ended up offering everyone contracts, which then kind of screwed up everything. So we did bring all these players in last year, and now we're forced to have to relook at it and possibly bring people on loan. Is what we're going to look at before the window ends up closing. I believe it's September 30th, so we still have an ample amount of time before that ends up happening. But so far, these are the guys that we're trying to bring in as well. And let's see the squad that we end up picking for our very first game in League 2 football. So for our first game, we have Hanbury in goal, Ollie, Cullinan, Barrett, and Kamasin as our back line. We have Rowe and Taylor as defensive mid, Peters, Cook, and Havenhand as our attacking mids there, and Ayatunde is going to start for us. Instead of Amalu, but Amalu might come in at some point. I feel as though this is going to be a proper thrashing. I don't think we really do have much of a chance here. I don't know why they predict a victory. Unless they end up deciding to take it easy on us or they severely got gutted from last year. I feel as though this is going to be a big mountain to climb. And even just getting promoted, or not getting promoted, but not getting relegated is going to be a bit tall of an ask. We're going to have to look at how well other teams ended up doing last year that got relegated. But we're going to probably play defensive. We're going to play for ties more than anything. Ayatunde almost scored, but he got offside. So it doesn't seem to matter anyways. But, I mean, decent enough. I won't hate on them for that. But we are still going to go for a balance. We might even look at more of a cautious. But our strategy is more so going to be counterattacking and just avoid relegation at all costs. That is the only goal here. It's going to take us, just by looking at it, at least 1 or 2 years to even get a feel of this league. Just because I mean, we're so out of our depth. Even just our payroll is significantly less than anyone else. We do get to around 300K just being in this league, though, just from TV rights and stuff like that. So we're going to focus more on getting money through that way, and then developing a lot of our players and even staff. I mean, we can't even afford a decent amount of staff, so it's going to be a tall order. If we can just avoid relegation, it would be the best. But we do have one shot on target, which is better than what they are. So, I mean, so far so good. But a lot of our players aren't even good enough to play in this league. So unless they're, I mean, that was a pretty nice one. Peter is almost getting a goal there, getting denied though. And I mean, we are commanding a decent amount of this, and somehow we end up finding ourselves with a ton of fans. That's far more than what I would have thought that would have shown up for this game. So maybe there is a decent amount of money that we can end up getting this year. I'd be happy with doubling up than what we did last year. Even just having oh dear God, what happened there? Not a bad way to introduce himself. That did not look like a very good goal. Let's see it. Ayatunde can't quite header it away. Parkin ends up shooting it. It hits off the post, and then Easy ends up getting it. It was just a tap-in. I mean, that wasn't that good of a goal. But we find ourselves down 1-0 at halftime, assuming that we end up getting through to halftime without conceding too much. But like I said, our coaches leave a lot to be desired. And I mean, at least we end up getting to maximize our subs, so we will be able to at least develop a decent amount of players. But we're going to look to get some players on loan. We haven't been able to do that quite yet. No one really wants to play for us as of now. But I mean, as long as we don't end up conceding too much, I'm happy with this kind of finish. 1-0 loss isn't the worst thing. And Hanbury at least manages to save that. We're going to try and rotate between Hanbury and Proctor, just to be able to get a decent amount of development between the two of them. Yeah, Hanbury is our biggest earner, though, on our team, and we're just trying to trim the fat at this point. We found ourselves having way too big of a club, so anyone that's not going to... I feel as though it's going to take a little bit longer than what I initially envisioned. I think our general manager definitely screwed the pooch and just signed everyone to ridiculous contracts and didn't really think of any long-term thing. Havenhand now with it. Let's see if we can get a goal here. Oh my God, Ayatunde almost put one in. That was pretty close. Cook's going to have to come off, though. He's going to be our first sub. And we're still not that good at corners. And even worse now with passing. We'll end up making the sub now. Cook definitely needs to come off. Makuna can play, and we'll put in Panasar. Panasar might be with us for the next couple seasons. But we did, since our general manager ended up, unfortunately, signing everyone to ridiculous contracts because I had the setting on him to allow him to do that. We did miss out on being able to get some young talent. Crossbar, we could have been level there. Jesus, that was a nice shot, though. Now Easy with it on the counterattack. Good block by Kamasin. Let's see if we can get a counterattack again on our own. Oh, I thought we were going to lose it there. To Rowe, to Ayatunde, to Ollie. We like the wing play here. Peters with the finish. Oh my God, we managed to level it. Peters was one of the guys that we grabbed at last season, just at the very end. Rowe looks like he might have to come off as well. That is insane. That was a nice cross, too, from Ollie. Just hard and low. Peters managed to get the end of it. I don't know if Ayatunde would have been able to finish that. We might want to put in Amalu sooner rather than later, but Rowe's probably going to come off as well. We're going to just wait until the 70th minute, probably. Ayatunde almost puts one in there. Gets denied, but a good effort nonetheless. Yeah, we'll make our subs now. I think we can make more than what I initially thought. Clay Mack can come in as well, but Peters is having a good game, so Rowe is going to be the other one for Summers. And I want to take off Peters. Peters is playing pretty well. Maybe we take off Barrett or Kamasin for Cuscienza, because I think we're able to make 5 subs now. So Cuscienza is going to come in for, let's do Barrett, and then we'll put in the other Barrett as well. So we'll make all our subs now. Hopefully they can get on. We're in 11th place, shockingly, right now. Walsall's also up 1-0. It feels though they're going to be our rivals throughout this this whole experience in this division. Omlin with the header. Oh, Havenhand can't quite get to it. I thought I subbed him for a second, but I guess I did not. Now with the cross, denied pretty easily, but somehow Parkin ends up getting it. Easy ends up heading it over. No stress there. 75 minutes here. I mean, a draw on our first game would be massive. Ollie now running down the wing. Finding Havenhand off the post. Oh my god. But Ollie is doing fantastic. I really hope we have him on contract. And he's not just a appearance fee guy. Because we definitely need to solidify his involvement. Day 1, him and Peters occupying the left wing is just insane. Can't quite get it. Does look like they're going to go on the counter here. We do have a decent amount of bodies back though, so we should be able to stop this. I do like our defensive structure though, I will say that. Doesn't look like we've allowed ourselves to get overrun at any point. We do have a decent amount of bodies behind, and we can get the interceptions like what we need to. Let's just see if we can get something going. Havenhand now, you just got to beat him and cross it. There we go. Omlu can't quite get to it. It's going to go for a corner. Hopefully it's still continuing with the highlight. That is insane. I can't believe we're actually tying so far. Does look like their fans are chanting pretty hard. And for whatever reason, we're going to waste time here. I don't like that. Summers now with another... Oh, no one can get to it. How many minutes of extra time? Probably only like 3 or 4. There we go. 3 or 4. We're in 12th place right now. Good cross. No one can get to it though. Barrett now with it. Oh, you should have played more wide. Why did you go and attack it? That is so dumb. It's like he's never played football before. Jank Pata? That's an awesome name. And that is all she wrote. We managed to level up, and I will take that for sure. Possession-wise, we didn't really have any, though. 30%. We did beat them in XG at the end of it. We could have easily taken over. We had 6 shots on target. Wow. Can't believe that. Much better than what I thought. I thought we were going to for sure lose. But we'll take a look at last year's FA Cup. Who cares about that? And then Peter scores on his debut. So we'll take a look at League 2 and see how much they end up needing last year. Yeah, they need around a point per game. So 46 should be the target here. If we don't end up getting 46, we could find ourselves getting relegated pretty easily. So point per game is what we need to solidify it, and we got our first point now. So let's jump to the next game and see if we can manage to get another point there. Any win we will definitely take over any tie, but we'll play our next home game and see if we can manage to get a victory there. So we find ourselves here in the most local derby that we could probably ask for. Walsall FC plays right here, and we play just a stone throw away for them. We're going to see how long it actually ends up taking for us to get there. And it takes roughly around 11-minute drive. It's only pretty much 2 streets, but comparison in terms of our stadium and their stadium, I mean, I don't even think we can really see anything in terms of ours. We'll end up looking at it real close, but I don't think we're going to be able to get in. I think we can only see it possibly from the road. This is going to be our first glimpse of being able to look at the stadium here. And it's not going to let us do that either. I think it's only going to let us from the street here. And yeah, it's only going to let us from here. So this is pretty much as close as what it's going to let us get there. Daw End is the closest. And we can only really see there. But that's our stadium. That's what we're comparing against to. And then Walsall here. I mean, probably a much bigger stadium than ours. Will it even let us drop into it and find out? It does. Dear God. We're not used to this. And we're falling. So Walsall Stadium, that is a much nicer stadium than ours. Wow. All around. So Lisa's we should be able to get a decent amount of fans for this. Let's hope that we can manage to actually get a decent amount of people. But it does look pretty similar to what we are, but they have a lot established around it. It's going to take us a while before we can get to this level of a club. But hopefully we can manage to at least get a result from here, because I mean, it's the best thing that we can really hope for at this point. We are coming off our very first win, though, as well against Crew, but we'll get into that after the game anyways. So let's see the squad that we end up picking for our Walsall match. And we are back, and we find ourselves here in 6th place somehow. We managed to beat Crew 2-0 though at home. So not as bad as what I thought. Crew was originally top of the league. Their first game they ended up beating Mansfield 4-1. But so far we managed to do pretty decent for that. We are trying to bring in some players in on loan. We're trying to get Charlie Davis for £0 per week. He should be playing defensive mid for us. And we are trying to bring in... Did this get rejected? Who rejected it? Contract rejected? That is weird. Someone rejected this. Alright, we'll have to look into it more. But that kind of sucks. We did think that we were going to get this guy. We were going to pay him around 10,000 per month. And I was really hoping that's going to make a difference here, but I guess not. So we find ourselves with the first rivalry here. I don't think they know it's a rivalry, but I'm just announcing it. And I just really hope that they kind of take it easy on us. So the stand looks a little bit different here than what it did on the Google Maps there. But so far, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we just take a proper pounding in this one. But we managed to at least get some points from the last couple games to find ourselves not really in a playoff spot. Like, I'm just going to say that we are, but we really aren't. Our team's not that good. I don't think that we're going to be able to push for that unless we can get some pretty good players on loan, which is what the focus is. We're going to... Wow, okay, and then we end up conceding so early on. But this is going to fuel our hatred, that's for sure. Not even going to look at the replay. We're just going to kind of accept that. It does bump us down to 9th place, though, and Walsall is now in 2nd. I mean, it would be crazy if they get promoted and then we get promoted the next year. That looks like it was offside. Oh my god, and then Peters finds Ayatunde, and we managed to make this a match. 1-1, we respond immediately. So this formation is definitely speaking to us. It looked like it hit off his foot or he stubbed his toe or something like that. Ollie finding Peters. I thought he was offside for a second. And then he ends up finding Ayatunde. Just takes a minor deflection and goes right into the net. We find ourselves 1-1. That is insane. Bumps us back up to 10th place. I'm not sure how Walsall did their very first couple games there. But they are in 4th place despite tying. But 10th place, we will take that. We will take that all day. As long as we're not hovering towards the bottom, I will take that any day of the week. Wrexham has an injury, but are beating Mansfield Town. So as long as they just pump those two teams, we are going to be ecstatic by it. I don't know if you end up getting anything for what you place in this league. I think you probably just get the TV rights, and that's probably it. Or you get promoted as well. But we're going to focus to get our revenue from cup games. We managed to win the one on penalties against Morecambe, so we do have two victories over them, both in cup games. But we are probably going to have to play them at some point in this league. Cook somehow got the ball and then gets lost it by slide tackle. I thought he was offside for a second. But yeah, that kind of sucks. So they do find themselves up, but that was a very weird... Cook just kind of ran right into them, That just shows his lack of experience. We did have an offside there. I do kind of hate the fact that once a player is offside, they can still get the ball afterwards, just because they play someone else on. It's kind of crazy. But there's nothing we could do here. We're just at the mercy of Walsall for sure. They almost put another one in there. Cushien's apparently upset. So is Cullinan. I don't know who they're upset at. They better be upset at themselves because, I mean, they can't be upset at our offense, that's for sure. But we do need more reinforcements. I do know that Omlu is injured for a couple games, I think, or a couple weeks maybe. I don't even know how many games that's going to be, but we still have around 43 games left in the league after this. That looked offside for sure. They're not going to count it. Okay. But and we're down 3-1. So I already knew that, I was already half expecting this was going to be the most difficult challenge so far this season. And last game I did see Bristol Rovers get smashed. So yeah, I guess everyone just relax. We're already going to lose this game anyways. But no reason why we can't make it at least a fun fight here and get a couple other players to stretch their legs. But we'll end up doing that in a little bit. Probably leave it for around 55 unless someone does something that we don't like. But Peters looks like he's developing into a very good player for us. He might be the single reason why we don't get knocked down. But, I mean, 4 points in 3 games. That is way above what we could have expected. Ayatande was offside, and he decided not to run for it, which I don't know if we would have rather the stop and play there for a second. Good passes between Makuna and Cook and Ayatande. Good thing he didn't play that offside because we were back in this game. Peters looks like he has to come off, though, and I don't like seeing that. And Hanbury is apparently a 5.9. We are not used to seeing that. So we'll make some of the subs. I guess Peters is going to have to come off for Summers. I don't really like that. Kuna is going to come off for Havenhand, and then Rowe. Damn. Guess Ollie Scott would be the only one that could be coming in for Rowe. We don't really have a midfield here. Oh, actually, we do have Davis. We'll put him in there instead. Davis can't quite play defensive mid, but we're going to have to kind of deal with it. And then I think that's going to be it for now. Ayatande might have to come off as well. But we're going to hold off on that as much as possible. We do need another attacking mid, I think. Even though Cook did a very good job there finding Makuna, and then Makuna finding Ayatande, which I guess we probably shouldn't have taken off Makuna. But nevertheless, I mean, Havenhand could also come up top striker as well. That's why it kind of sucks that Omlu's injured. And we end up turning that one away. But they come back. Hanbury manages to get to it. Hopefully that improves his rating just a little bit. We move up to 11th position, but that's still not good enough, obviously. See if we can rescue one late goal here. Just deny them here. And Hanbury managed to get to it. But it does look like they have our number, at least right now. Good interception by Taylor, and he gets fouled. No yellow? Come on. That was a pretty blatant counterattack that we were about to start there. Davidson with it to Grimshaw. And kicked way over. There's nothing they could do there. And we're going to make our subs in a little bit. We only have 2 shots on target, and both of them being goals. So we do deserve to lose this game, that's for sure. Cook's going to have to come off. Daly, I guess, can play there. I didn't know that he could. He can't, so he's lying to us. But we'll take that, I guess. You know what, we'll do Summers, and then I think Havenhand can probably play there, right? Havenhand can only play on the one side. Where can Summers play? Summers can play all of them. And then Ayatande can play either one. So Ayatande is going to come on. We're going to swap him with Havenhand there. And we do get a chance to make another sub here. You know what? Kamasin we'll put in for Ollie Scott. Yeah, we'll end up doing those changes. Kind of give words of encouragement. See if we can manage to get that extra goal. I mean, I don't have too much faith in it, but we're not gonna. I'd rather not go down 4-2, to be honest. I'd rather kind of accept this. And it looks like we might find ourselves going down 4-2. 87th minute. I mean, might end up going full attack, though. Okay, we can see the corner. We'll go very attacking, well, right now, I guess. Now, let's see if immediately changing that. We do still have a lot of fans. I'm surprised. We did sell a decent amount of season tickets, too, but this is an away game anyways. But it is nice to see a bunch of our players, or a bunch of our fans there show up. And there's going to be 5 minutes of extra time. I think it's going to be too little too late, though. Kamasin finding Daly. Oh my god, Daly can't get it. I thought he was supposed to be a striker. Hanbury now joining the attack. Oh, they headed away. Summers now with it. Can't quite get to it. Daly to Aitunde. Back to Daly. I don't know why Aitunde didn't shoot that. Summers now. Havenhand hits the post. And he was offside. Oh my god. This is going to be the story of the season. We're going to hit how many posts? I'm going to have to start counting them. How many times that we could have easily tied a game and then we end up hitting the post. Oh my god, that is so heart-wrenching. We end up losing this one, but we knew that it was going to be a tough challenge. Nice to see Aitunde and Summers playing pretty well, and Peters as well. I think, yeah, they did all we could ask for. So they take the first loss of our season, so we'll take that. And we're still in 12th place. But what can you do, really? I feel as though it kind of did suck for Hanbury, though. We'll take a look at the next couple games, see what game we're going to come back for. I feel as though we'll probably come back for maybe the Mansfield game. And let's switch it up. Let's do like a... We'll come back for Mansfield, and we'll come back for the Exeter Cup game. I don't even know where Exeter plays. Exeter plays in League One, so we'll play that game. See if we can manage to battle for that game. I mean, I don't have too much faith in it. We're just really hoping that we can manage to get past the second round of the Carabao Cup. I don't know how much money that would be. It doesn't show. So we'll find out later. Second round, what's third round? Third round doesn't say anything. Fourth round, nope. I highly doubt that we get this high. It doesn't show the amount. Oh, semifinals is 25. So I don't know if you end up getting anything for it. But regardless, we'll accept that. Just anything that can get us a little bit further. But yeah, we'll come back for the Mansfield game, and then we'll come back for the Exeter game and see where we end up lying in that. As long as we can end up getting around like 7 or 8 points, that should be pretty good. That's around 7 games anyways. If we can get 7 or 8 points in the next couple of games, I will be happy as a pig, and you know what. But thank you everyone for watching, and until next time.